standing here with Benjamin Felbrich from Olive Robotics, and maybe you can switch the camera here because we see here one really nice device. I think it's a dog or something like a dog. So this is obviously a roboter. So what are you doing with that? What are the use cases for these kind of devices?
Yeah, so I mean, this robot, as we see it right here, this dog is not our product. That's major disclaimer. We use it to generate attention, which seems to work pretty well for us. So we can
do.
Yes, exactly. So we can advertise our own components or our own products. We basically make robot components that you can use to build your own robots. So you could, for example, use our components to build a dog like that, or you could extend this existing dog with a new sensor system that you build from our components. Everything we do is compatible with ROS and ROS 2. This dog is, for example, compatible with ROS 2 as well, so the control system is integrated very easily. So from a technical standpoint, it makes it much easier to set up any custom robot system.
So ROS is a standard for all the others who are not engineers like you.
Exactly, it's called the robot operating system. It's like the standard for robotics.
Got it. And now, as I mentioned before, we are looking on the world from an ecosystem perspective. Mm-hmm. The question is now, you have now here hardware, you have components, but I learned you have more. You also think in ecosystems. Can you dig deeper into that? So where is the ecosystem perspective in your business?
Yeah, so the idea is obviously with these components, the same way that you can plug them together physically by just attaching a USB-C cable and plug them together, you can also just as easily download an app from our app store and install it on a component. So for example, we have the camera component. You could just go to our app store, download a face detection app that someone else wrote, install it on the system, and then you have that face detection. The same way, because all of our components are equipped with a tensor processing unit, it can do machine learning. So you can share in our app store, you can share neural networks, you can share data sets that you can use for training. So this is how we want to build an ecosystem that is not only of people not only using our hardware components but also sharing code, because everything is standardized. Everything is ROS 2 and USB-C. So an app that you write here can be used in any other Olive Robotics component around the world.
And now you are kind of the orchestrator of all of that. Mm-hmm. How much do you get into the ecosystem in terms of use cases? Is it that you just have an open platform and companies can work with your solutions or third-party solutions? Or is it that you are also going deeper into projects and creating your own use cases for your customers?
Yeah, so we are more about building the platform. That's our core product. That's what we want to do. But of course, we want to keep that open to other platforms. Let's say, for example, one of our early adopters and early customer is a university here in Bavaria, which is more from the realm of architecture. Mm-hmm. And they basically have their own software interfaces, and we can provide them with a way to interface their software with our software. So, but although our main focus is on our own ecosystem that we want to build, we want to stay open to all the other ecosystems that are out there.
Cool.
So we really believe in trying to make, we just believe in modularity, ecosystems, extending things, creating a community that it can extend your ecosystem and nurturing that ecosystem. That's what we want to do.
That's a cool bridge to my last question. Okay. Future of ecosystems. So what do you think when we have this conversation in, let's say, 3 years? What will have changed? What are the trends with an ecosystem perspective on your industry and on your business model? Yeah?
So for sure, what I think, this robot operating system that I mentioned, ROS and ROS 2, this will become the big standard. It came out of academia and research, so it always was a little bit looked down upon by the industry because it wasn't as stable. But it's gone a long way since then. It's became much more stable, and we think, or we know, that ROS 2 will be the next big standard, even in industry, and even big industrial players will use ROS 2. We see that even AMD, for example, builds CPUs now that can only run ROS, or that is highly optimized for ROS, because they also know that. So we think that on the software side, ROS will find way more adoption, and on the hardware side, I think modularity is the future. That's why we do this. And we hope that in 3 years, our modules are the new industry standard, obviously. That's why we do this.
That's a good wish for the future. Thank you so much, Benjamin, for this quick session.